Hey folks, this is Ryan with RBT, and we are going to be discussing the process of making the Zion wood. So the first step in making the Zion wood is to cut a board. It has this profile. It's a bit oversized. With the board, then you run the board through a planer, and then you slowly plane down all four sides until you get a perfectly sized rectangle. Then you take that board that's that shape and you put it in a chop saw, and you cut it very precisely to the final length. And then these rectangular blocks of wood go to a CNC machine, which is a computer controlled milling machine. And it does all the detailed features. It mills out this pocket, the magnet holes, the battery reliefs, the battery terminal, cutouts, and pilot holes for these screws. And it machines out this pocket for where the electronics goes. And then it drills these two dive-through holes. And those holes are so that the wires can sneak through into the chamber so that they can be hooked to the heater. And then in another operation, it's set up this way. And then this section is machined out. And then this hole and counter bore, the hole for the stir stick, and the hole for the storage for the mouthpiece are drilled in along with the counter bore for the voltage control knob. And then a few other details are the hole and counter bore for the button, and then the air inlet hole. Same thing is done with a rectangular piece for the door, and the mating holes are put in for the magnets. And then a rectangular piece is cut out and fit for the back door. Those two pieces are double-sided taped on, and then a square piece is cut out, rectangular piece. A block of wood is put here after the holes are machined in it. For the stash area and the clearance for the taper on the mouthpiece. And then once all of those blocks have been fashioned and double-sided taped to the main body, then you basically have one big rectangle. Then that entire thing is sanded together, all of the pieces together, all six sides, rough then fine. Then the router is used to put these two large diameters on. And then you have to envision that the piece of wood on there, which is the battery compartment and the electronics cover, are on there. And then the small routings are put around the bottom here, along the edges, that form the battery cover and the electronics cap. And then same thing with the wooden cap that's on here. Large radiuses are run on the router, and then the small radiuses are continued out. So now you have all of the parts assembled and routed, and so then you have a three-step sanding process. Again, all 6 sides, multiple grits to get it down to fine sanding. Then you hand sand the whole thing, and then you beeswax buff the entire thing, and then with a chisel, sharp chisel, large chisel, you split off because they're adhered with double-sided tape, the back, the cover, and the cap, and then the unit can be built. And you can assemble the magnets, and then as you can see here, we've got it partially assembled with the button and the wires. The electronics normally be in here. This is going to be an M, so it's manual, so it's just batteries directly through the wires to the new Xeon M heater that'll handle the 8.4 volts that'll be hooked onto that side. But that is the process. It's quite a long and laborious one, and any one of those steps, if you get a chip or a misguide of any way that's unsalvageable, then you, especially if that step that you mess up is towards the end, you lose all the labor that's in there. So this turned out to be a labor of love, and there was a lot of labor in Xeon, and that's in part what killed it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for making.